My name is Joanna Entriken, and we fostered for almost 10 years. We started in 2015 and just recently closed our home after adopting 5 out of foster care. We have had so many children come through our home, over 200, some for just a night, some for 2.5 years. But God has been really, really good to us, and we've had some really amazing children come through our home. And I miss all of them. I still have relationships with the ones that stayed with us the longest. They still come back and visit. They still come back and spend the night with me, and still treat us like family. So it's been great. I have 2 biological children, and when we started fostering, they were 8 years old and 13 years old. So we wanted to get children that were younger than them. And there were ups and downs along the way, but for the most part, my children got to see a broken world that most children are protected from seeing, and they learned to love deeper because of it. And after probably about 5 years of fostering, I stopped and I asked my children, I said, hey, we can stop doing this anytime. I don't have to keep bringing kids in the home. And they said, Mom, please don't ever stop doing this. These kids need this family. We decided to start fostering. I lost my mom very suddenly when I was 25 years old. My only child was then 2 years old, and it destroyed me. But it also gave me a heart for the motherless. And as I healed, I knew that there were so many children that needed a family for a short time or long time or whatever. I knew that God wasn't finished with my family. And so after my son was born and got a little older, we wanted to maybe look into adoption, and God just put it on our heart that foster care would be a way that God could choose who comes into our home, and that we could just open our doors to God's plan. So that's how our journey started. The way I see it is foster care is the gospel. That's what we're told. This is a true and living gospel, is to look after orphans and widows. So when you open your home to children that are broken, you are loving like Jesus loves. You are loving with abandon. And, a lot of people say, I couldn't do it because I just wouldn't want to let them go. But that's not true love. True love is loving with abandon and knowing that even if they don't love me back, I'm still going to choose this journey, and I'm still going to show them the love of Christ. So it has definitely increased our faith abundantly. Working with birth families has always been a top priority of mine. I've always tried to strive for reunification, first of all, and if not, then how can I keep in contact with even their relative, even if it's, parents aren't in a place. So even after adoption, I still let my children visit their grandparents or their aunts or uncles or cousins and siblings, half siblings. I think it's very important to keep that family connection, and especially for their identity when they get older, to know who they are, where they came from. So I've always tried from the very beginning to have a relationship with birth parents or birth family. And also that's all paid off in the end, because when they are reunified with a relative, then those are the children that call up and say, hey, can I come spend the weekend with you? Because I created that connection with the family. So they don't have another loss when they leave my house and go somewhere else. They still have me as family if they choose that. Preparing to be a foster parent, I think, is pretty impossible. Honestly, you really just don't know what you're going to get into. And, I was eager and adventurous and probably called 20 times a day asking them, did you get me licensed? Did you get me licensed? And, I've had some really great kiddos come through my home. I haven't had any horror stories that so many people think happen. It's really just about giving them stability and security and a schedule, really. Just giving them that schedule that they can know, this is when I'm going to get up, this is when I'm going to eat. And once you kind of find that balance, it just kind of flows. And yeah, there's also hiccups here and there, but I don't think anything can prepare you except a leap of faith and just stepping into it. Can anything prepare you to have your own children? Really, you just have to trust God through the journey. One or a few of the most rewarding parts is I probably have at least two that I can think of right now, and I'm thinking another one that came to me while they were in my home and said, something's different here and I want it. I've never felt this before. And I would say, well, it's Jesus. And they say, I want Jesus. And so I've had a couple of kids accept Christ in my home, and one little girl asked me to let her get baptized while she was with me. And she was 13 years old when she came to me, and she lived with me for 2 years, and she's 19, 20 now, and still texts me and wants to come visit and still has the love of Jesus in her heart. So that's probably the most rewarding, I can say. And my children that I've adopted. Foster care is so deep and so intentional that it's a love that spreads. And my sister-in-law and her husband are starting to foster now because of just watching us go through the journey. A couple of my best friends just started fostering. And I think, the support and communication of other foster parents is huge. And it does help others to realize that they can do it. You can do all things. So I think that's how it's helped our family. New foster families definitely need a mountain of support. You get burnout really, really fast in the beginning, and meals, babysitting, doctor's appointments. Goodness, all the doctor's appointments that have to go. Please just come take my kid to the doctor for a well child check or whatever. That support, mom's night out, diapers, which are not cheap. Those are a blessing to always have. So any kind of gifts, food, time, and communicate. Check on them. Just check on them. What's going through your head? When I texted my sister-in-law, she literally sent me a book back of how she's feeling, and I get it. So I think just checking on people, loving on them. Yeah. Please step up, foster parents, parents for it doesn't have to be 10 years of 200 kids. It can look like a weekend from, a group home. You just want to help a child out for the weekend, take them out on the lake or take them to the beach or something. Be like a grandparent to them. Respite care, babysit for other foster families that just need a break. Emergency care, answering the phone at 2 o'clock in the morning because there's a baby in the back seat of a car and parents are going to jail and they just need a place to sleep tonight. It doesn't have to be a 2-year commitment to say yes to help. It can just be like I said, kind of like a grandparent term. That's what I like to call the group home. When the girls would come over and stay with me, I was like just an aunt, or come over on Thanksgiving or on Christmas. So we definitely need more help.